In this video, I'm going to show you how to bleed the brakes on this Ram 2500. Let's get started. You're going to find your master cylinder located on the driver's side of the engine compartment. It's going to have this yellow cap. Remove that cap and set it aside, and I like to remove all the old brake fluid before I start my brake bleed. Since I'm flushing basically all the lines, I'm going to use a fluid extractor pump and basically this little vacuum chamber that will remove all of the old brake fluid out of my reservoir. Okay, that's pretty much all of the fluid. So at this point, we can top it off with clean fluid. I'm going to use .3 brake fluid. You can see the max line over here, so just add fluid until it reaches the max line. This is a fairly large reservoir, so for this procedure, you want to make sure you have plenty of brake fluid on hand. Now with the master cylinder topped off, I'm going to place this cap back on just so the moisture from the air doesn't get into the brake fluid. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, so it will absorb the moisture. And the sequence for bleeding these brakes is going to be starting at the right rear caliper, so the passenger side rear. Then you're going to want to go to the other side in the rear, so the left rear. Then you move to the right side front, so the passenger side front, and then finally the driver's side front. So here we are at the right rear caliper. I'm going to pop the bleeder screw cover off, and I have an assistant in the truck pumping up the brake pedals so that we can actually get some brake fluid pressure in here. I'm going to set up a 10mm wrench on the bleeder, and I actually have this collection receptacle that has a hose attached to it that'll go right onto the bleeder screw. This will just minimize the mess. You can go ahead and pump up the brakes now. My assistant's going to pump up the brakes a few times. That'll create pressure in the system, and then once they're holding, we're going to crack open the bleeder screw. The brake pedal will travel all the way to the floor. Brake fluid will come out, and if you have any air in the lines, air will come out as well. At this point, once the pedal has reached the floor, I'm going to close off the bleeder screw. You can go ahead and pump again. We're going to repeat this process a few times until there are no more air bubbles coming out, or if you're trying to flush out old fluid, until you have clean fluid coming out of the bleeder screw. All right, that is a perfectly clean, steady trickle of fluid. You can let go of the brake pedal now. I'm going to remove my hose. Any residual that dripped you want to clean off so you don't confuse it for a leak. You can use brake parts cleaner to dry it all off. And of course, when you're done, don't forget to cap off the bleeder screw. Once this side's done, let's move over to the left side rear. That's the driver's side rear caliper. And top off the master cylinder with clean fluid to make sure it's full. And we're over on the other side of the rear. Pop off the bleeder screw cover. Put your wrench on it, 10mm in size. Oh, I had it right. And I'm going to put my receptacle on this. Go ahead and pump up the brakes. Okay, holding pressure. So I'm going to crack this free. Quite a bit of air on that one. That was nice and clean. Okay, you can let go of the brake pedal. Remove your tool. Make sure the bleeder screw is nice and snug. Clean any drippage off. And of course, put the bleeder screw cap back on to protect it from getting clogged up. And top off the master cylinder with clean fluid to make sure it's full. Now we're at the front passenger side caliper, so that's the right front. I'm going to pop the bleeder screw cap off, and same setup. Put my wrench. The fronts are 11mm in size, so use the appropriate size wrench. Go ahead and pump up the brakes. Okay. Crack this free. Yeah, I got quite a bit of air on that one. All right, perfect. You can let go of the brake pedal. This is nice clean fluid, no air bubbles. I can tell that it's fresh fluid because it's lighter in color compared to what was in here before. Same deal, clean up any mess. Go ahead and cap off the bleeder screw, and let's move over to the front driver's side. That's going to be the last wheel that we're going to bleed. And top off the master cylinder with clean fluid to make sure it's full. All right, last wheel. I made sure to top off that master cylinder in between each caliper. And I'm going to put my wrench on here. You can go ahead and pump up the brakes. All right, crack this free. Yep, got some air on that one. Awesome, that is nice and clean. You can let go of the brake pedal now. I'll remove my tool. Clean up my mess, cap off the bleeder screw. All right, we are done. Everything is bled. Top off that master cylinder, put the wheels back on. The wheel torque is 130 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.